Yo, what's up, everybody? It is your boy, Lavon Cason, back at it again with another video. That's right, I'm going to be doing a reaction of a Clint Eastwood video. And the video is called Major Xbox Series X Upgrade Coming. Why PS5 games outperform the Xbox Series X/X for next generation. Alright, let's begin. Let's see what this Clint Eastwood video is all about.
The Xbox Series X has been on the market for a week, and new multi-platform games are being analyzed. And the power delta between the Xbox and the PS5 have shown shocking results. The Xbox is at least 20% more powerful, an incalculable suite of architectural benefits, all in a towering console that hasn't even been unlocked fully for developers. The PS5 has been keeping pace in many aspects in games like Call of Duty Cold War and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, all with less power, fewer feature sets, but former PlayStation developers see the true power behind the Xbox Series X, and it's waiting for them right now.
That little guitar intro, huh?
This is Clint Eastwood. Welcome to the channel. If you're a frequent viewer here, thanks for being patient for new video content. I've been very busy just playing and spending time with the new PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, readying for a comprehensive review. My last video covered an interview that I had with Xbox's hardware lead Jason Ronald. Go check out that video. I'll have it linked here at the end of the video. Today we're going to look at what the Xbox Series X can really do when developers don't give us the PlayStation version of an Xbox game. So if you enjoy this content, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel, hit the bell, and let's get into what's going on right now with the Xbox. Well over a year ago, after the Xbox Scarlett was announced and Xbox was ready to talk about a new console generation, back for E3 2019, the world and gaming scene was very different than it is now, with crowds of thousands filling conventions, beaming about the new hardware in the works to usher in the next generation of Xbox and PlayStation. Around 2019 in June, rumors and reports from developers working with dev kits for the PS5 and Xbox Scarlett stated that the PS5 was more powerful, more capable, and more advanced than the new Xbox, which at that time was boasting to be the world's most powerful console.
It eats monsters for breakfast.
At that time, developers on the PS5 dev kit were using a much more mature toolset that was rumored to be ready for 2019 launch window, but pushed into 2020 alongside the Xbox Series X and S. In 2019, around E3 season, developers readying games for Xbox were using a desktop PC spec target instead of a full SDK or a dev kit from Xbox. Codemasters Dirt 5 lead developer stated that their teams did not get access to an Xbox dev kit to properly port the Xbox version of their game until late in development.
So he's basically using the tools excuse. You know, basically, you know, what Porter Rock had uploaded a video of on Twitter. You know, shout out to Porter Rock. Shout out to Porter Rock for uploading that video.
Of Dirt 5. Essentially, many developers that make games for all platforms spent much of the past year with PC and Xbox One level hardware and software tools to optimize games for the new Xbox Series X. By summer of 2020, 1 year later, just months before the launch of the Xbox Series and PS5 consoles, devs had full access to software tools for the PS5 for nearly a year, and Xbox was just getting GameCore or the GDK, the game development kit, in hand to optimize the latest games. For big games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this meant that the Xbox Series X was getting a mix of the PS5 version and the Xbox.
Let's go back. Just a little bit.
Or the GDK, the game development kit in hand to optimize the latest games. For big games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this meant that the Xbox Series X was getting a mix of the PS5 version and the Xbox One X version.
I'm sorry, but that just sounds stupid. That just sounds nonsense. That sounded like bullcrap. How do you mix code like that? For real. How do you do that? How do you mix code of, say, the PS5 version and the Xbox, One X version? How do you mix code like that? How? How do you do that? That just sounds nonsensical. That just sounds...
What does this mean?
Like nonsense.
The Xbox Series X version runs at nearly the same quality as the PS5, except the Xbox version has occasional screen tearing as the frame rate of 60 FPS is running above or below the target, unable to keep up with the refresh on your screen. The Xbox Series X is much more capable and should not have this issue when the PS5 does not. The reasoning is led back to the software tools of the GDK, which Ubisoft has not had enough time to implement fully. A patch will easily solve this with VSync. Dirt 5 had an extreme amount of screen tearing on the Xbox Series X in my preview build of the game and has been patched before launch by Codemasters. Developers are spending more time optimizing for the PS5 version with better, more mature tools, and that will not last, as nearly all devs prefer to use the available power to make their games look the best on the best hardware, regardless of the popularity of the platform, which we have seen with almost every single game since the Xbox One X was compared to the PS4 Pro. There is much more substantial advantage in the console.
At that point, did power really matter? Did it really matter at that point? Because at that point, when the Xbox One X had came out, people had moved on and were just going to be talking about, the exclusive games, nothing more, nothing less. They were talking about what they were going to be playing from Sony. Were they going to be playing that Spider-Man? Were they going to be playing that, God of War and games like that Days Gone and stuff like that, all this power talk, that by the time that this One X came out, that didn't really matter all that much, really. For real, it didn't really matter at that
PS5
point.
dev kit
It really
and
didn't.
the associated software tools. Quantic Dreams developer David Cage has spent the better part of a decade developing exclusives for the PlayStation platform, and he has recently spoken about the transformative advantage.
The Series X's power gets showcased, 2 years from now. Will that even matter at that point? Because mid-gen refreshes are going to be happening, or supposedly, and when that comes out, will the Series X's power really matter all that much at that point? You see, it's really going to be all about that first-party support. It's really going to be all about those first-party games to take true advantage of that power. It's not going to be about third-party taking advantage of the power, because let's be honest and let's be real. They're both going to look the exact freaking same.
The feature sets in the Xbox Series X that are not even being tapped right now in cross-generation and multi-platform games. David Cage said, "The CPU of the two consoles uses the same processor, slightly faster on the Xbox Series X. The GPU of the Xbox also seems more powerful, as it is 16% faster than the PS5 GPU, with a bandwidth that is 25% faster. The transfer speed from the SSD is twice as fast on the PS5. The shader cores of the Xbox are also more suitable to machine learning, which could be an advantage if Microsoft succeeds in implementing an equivalent to NVIDIA's DLSS, an advanced neural network solution for AI. Overall, I think that the pure analysis of the hardware shows an advantage for Microsoft, but experience tells us that hardware is only part of the equation." End quote. David Cage of Quantic Dreams said that the Xbox Series X's shader cores are more suitable for machine learning tasks, which could allow the console to perform DLSS-like performance-enhancing image reconstruction technique.
DLSS is sharper than native 4K and created detail from AI that native rendering didn't even show, and the frame rate is higher. Adding ray tracing to games dramatically increases the computation workload. Using shaders to do ray traversal and object intersection reduces the frame rate. We added the RT core, which reduces shader workload by 60%. Using the same methodology as Microsoft Xbox, The RT core is effectively a 34 teraflop shader, and Turing has an equivalent of 45 teraflops while ray tracing.
Most and nearly all of the games on the Xbox Series X, even first-party games like the optimized for Series X and S, Gears 5, are not even using the full feature set, like velocity architecture to showcase the potential of the new hardware and software. There are 4 main advantages that Xbox holds over any console, even without looking at raw compute and hardware power delta over the PS5. Velocity architecture is 1, mesh shaders, direct ML, and variable rate shading. All 4 of these features are meant to take advantage of the hardware and push them even further to increase visual quality while keeping the console efficient to use that power to elevate the experience in every single way. Translated to a statement that we can all understand, the Xbox's shader cores use advanced mesh shaders which render pixel-based shapes that make up a 3D game character and environment. These mesh shaders are easily scalable in games without major performance hits we usually see in primitive shaders. I'll break this down even more simply. The shapes and geometry that make a video game in 3D are better suited for resolution increases without slowing down the game with something exclusive to Xbox Series consoles, which is machine learning. Direct ML machine learning on the Xbox Series X allows the GPU to selectively increase and sharpen the image with AI, sometimes leaving an upscaled presentation of the game looking better than a native resolution without a major impact to performance. Developers are already exploring direct ML uses for their games, so it's only a matter of time before this potential hardware advantage materializes. The GDK, or Game Core Development Kit for Xbox, that also facilitates games on Xbox One and PC, is far behind the PS5 tools, which have been ready
he's using the
since
tools,
mid-2019.
the tools excuse again.
PlayStation has always had the best software for developers, and some of the best in-house first-party developers can make
Xbox
some of the best-looking games.
Wait till Digital Family with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Wait until then. And look at what happened. And look at what happened. The PS5 version was performing superior to the Xbox Series X version. Ain't that ironic? Ain't that funny?
On less powerful hardware. The Coalition and Playground Games for Xbox are showing what next generation can look like with Gears 5 and Forza Horizon 4 already optimized for Xbox Series X. The problem with comparing PS5 and Xbox Series X multi-platform games made to run on both consoles is that both pieces of hardware are fully capable of high-resolution gaming at 60 FPS. Meaning that both consoles can easily achieve a dynamic 4K frame buffer at 60 with the raw hardware, with analysis tools asking for pixel counts and slight frame dips. Going into this generation, resolution will be less of a measuring stick as things like advanced physics, ray tracing, quality, and advanced higher level details like lighting and shadows will be the true test of the hardware on tap. In fact, some cases, Xbox should be able to make the leap to the next available frame rate interval, like Call of Duty Warzone running at 120 FPS when the PS5 is set to 60. But this is all down to developer choice. Developers under the crunch of next generation.
And we all know how developers get down. They get down like they are lazy. So it's going to be up to the first party to showcase that Xbox Series X power. It's not going to be, the third party, because the third party are going to be lazy as heck, man. Because of, these consoles are x86. And, a lot of them like to do the bare minimum. Which is why for the Series S, it's kind of depending on how the developer, treats that version. Will it be, optimized, or, some developers might do it, but there's a decent amount of them that just won't care about, optimizing the Series S version. So, yeah, developers, a lot of them are lazy. Some of them will do the work, but there's a lot of them that are lazy.
launch window, several consoles to port, and PC with their myriad of hardware configurations,
And pretty much,
you can see why the newest
multi-plats are going to be pretty much the same. Like, let's be real. Let's not act dumb. The multi-plats are going to be freaking the same. You know, the Series X version is not going to be like, you know, a huge leap from the PlayStation 5. Like, if it does look better, then it'll look a little bit better. Not a huge leap, but a little itsy tiny bit better.
multi-platform games like Devil May Cry 5 are running better on the PS5 in one of the 4 modes, as Capcom has chosen to port the PS5 version essentially over to the Xbox, with the raw hardware power making up the difference. According to sources close to the hardware and software for the Xbox's GDK for next generation, the Xbox Series X is anywhere from 16 to 20% more raw compute power over the PS5. Velocity Architecture is providing much more input and output bandwidth in games than they advertise, closing the gap between Xbox and the PS5. The direct ML machine learning and variable rate shading can add a total of 30% more efficiency on an already 16 to 20% hardware power delta, meaning that once developers utilize all of the tools and hardware available with the Xbox Series X, the visuals and performance difference will be staggering. Right now, developers are becoming familiar with the GDK for Xbox and will start to take advantage of these full RDNA 2 feature sets on Xbox. But we are hearing behind the scenes that in the coming year,
happens though, will that actually matter? Will that actually worth giving a crap about? That's the thing, you know. It's nice that we're learning all this information, you know, 30% efficiency, you know, 16% to 20% more powerful, but by at that point when, if it does get utilized on the Xbox Series X, will it matter? Like, I don't think it's going to really matter all that much because people are going to move on and play their multiplats on the PlayStation. You know, yeah, it'll be neat that the Xbox Series X, you know, supposedly will be better, but it's not going to really matter all that much. Come on, people, let's be real. Deep down, you guys know, everybody in the gaming community knows that Xbox guys are trying to look for a win. You know, they're saying that it's the tools, the tools, the tools, the tools, the tools, the tools. And, you know, they just keep on making excuses, just like how, you know, they were making an excuse. Oh, wait till Digital Foundry. Wait. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will showcase that the Xbox Series X is a better system, man. You wait and see. Wait till Digital Foundry get their hands on that Series X version of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, man. You wait and see. And look at what happened. PS5 version was way better. It was running at a stable 60 frames.
2021, when bigger games come out, is when Xbox Series X hardware will see its full potential. And thankfully, this is when the bulk of Xbox's timed and first-party exclusives will start to release on the platform, ushering in what will be a long and game-packed generation on the world's most powerful console, and a place to grow Game Pass to bring these games to
2-3 years from now. It's not going to be the most powerful console. Let's just be real. Since, you know, there's supposedly, you know, mid-gen refreshers coming, so it'll probably be, you know, if you want to be real at this point, the third most powerful console. Not the most powerful console, but the third most powerful console. The second most powerful console would be the PlayStation 5 Pro and the Xbox Series X Pro.
Than Xbox has ever done.
Another ad.
For over 20 years,
another freaking ad.
Large, hot and ready pizza for just $5. Available everywhere this week.
Pizza.
4. This is Cult Eastwood. Thank you so much for watching. Those of you who have been with the channel often know my format and that I rarely give my personal opinion in the main body of the video from intro up to this point. But I want to take a minute to give my own opinion on what is happening, how this affects me as an Xbox gamer, or rather one that plans to buy almost every game on the Xbox and save the exclusives on PS5. Well, for over a year, I've been confidently reporting that Xbox would hold the power crown and continue to be the best place to play most every game. I've had both consoles for a week or so and seen big
Which
games
isn't
like
the case at all. Right now, it's the PlayStation 5. That's the best place to play multiplayer, bro. Like, let's just be real.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Call of Duty run better or the same on PS5 has been the opposite of what I expected. I've looked into the hardware of both consoles closely and I understand that no matter what, Xbox should have the advantage. But I was not expecting the dev kit to be so far behind in readiness for developers. There are some devs that may be in the status quo mode or behind because of the disadvantage of working from home, separated from their teams and their studio. There will also be some developers over the next several months that will find many ways to excel with the Xbox hardware and elevate their game with the available tools and power. Like I said, it will be a long console generation and the Xbox will be the premier place to play most every game when the developer tools are ready in 2021. For now, I'll take what I was wrong about for the games playing and looking better on PS5. This has shocked and surprised the majority, as few devs and fans expected PlayStation software tools to be this far ahead for launch over Xbox. I wasn't expecting this even last week, but we have some amazing games and outstanding looking visuals ahead on console. If you enjoyed this video and got some insight, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Patreons and channel members get early access to the videos the night before they go public. The links are in the description. Add me on Xbox Live and Twitter to continue the conversation. I'll have more to report about the consoles the more time I have with them. Thanks again for watching.
Look, I mean, look, I get why Xbox people watch this guy, you know. He knows how to market himself. I mean, it looks like a commercial. Like, when you watch a Colt Eastwood video, it's like a commercial. It's like a marketing person or whatever. You know, he's well-spoken and all that other stuff. So, when you hear information like, you know, 30% efficiency and all that other stuff, you know, I get why Xbox gamers, you know, love this guy. They love him. Whatever information he be spewing out, you know, he makes it seems like to benefit, you know, the Xbox people. You know, that's what he does. And Xbox gamers just eat it up like this. Oh, no. They just eat, you know, whatever information he spews out like it's a godsend or something. In which, at times, you know, again, he could be wrong, but again, you know, Xbox gamers will just eat that up. So, his editing, you know, and stuff like that, you know, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good, but I mean, his information, you know, especially about, you know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, man, you know, it's pretty much, you know, a mixture of the Xbox One X version, the PS5 version, you know. I just had to laugh at that one. I'm sorry. I don't know about that. I'm like, how can you mix code like that? Like, how do you mix code to where it's, you know, the PlayStation 5 version, but it also has, you know, some form of the last generation version? Like, how does that even work? So, that's pretty much it with this video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, and I hope you guys have a good day.